ICE raids, shootouts, and the Epstein cover-up exposed. ICE agents ambushed. The mayor of LA tries to block a federal raid. And now, the DOJ says the Epstein client list never existed. They must think we're stupid, but we're watching. Before we roll the tape, you know what to do, people. Like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss what they're trying to bury. Let's go. Roll the tape. Hurry up.
I am going to say.
Mayor Bass, I need to get my phone and we're departing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor Bass.
Mayor Bass.
Any comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now. They need to leave because this is unacceptable.
Who did you speak with?
Just wait and see.
Mayor Bass,
They will be leaving soon.
Mayor, who did you speak with on the phone just now? Who did you speak with on the phone?
They had a custody.
Wow.
That's not leadership. That's a temper tantrum in front of a federal operation. Karen Bass showed up at an ICE raid like it was her block to control. But here's the truth. She's not ICE, she's not DHS, and she has zero authority to tell them to leave. This was a federal operation targeting an area known for MS-13 activity. But she didn't care about the gangs, she cared about the optics. And while she's politicking at the park, ICE agents are being ambushed across the country. Let me show you what happened just hours later.
We got multiple teams working this story as we learn more about this breaking news, but apparently a man showed up to this facility this morning with tactical gear and a rifle, opening fire on those agents at the front. Fire was returned. Dozens of shots was fired, and we have confirmed that man was killed in this. He's identified as Ryan Lewis, 27 years old. But as we show you these images, obviously very concerning. This man with a rifle and that tactical gear showing up. You can see the image of him down right there. Multiple shots fired. We have a confirmed statement that this morning an individual opened fire at the entrance of the United States border sector annex in McAllen, Texas. That was according to the Department of Homeland Security spokesman. We do know this is an ongoing investigation. One of the officers involved in this was shot in the knee, so that officer will need medical attention, but we're told will be in stable condition and okay. But right now, a very concerning situation with this man, Ryan Lewis, 27, apparently with a Michigan address, several other weapons and backpacks and gear inside his car, showing up and opening fire this morning. No news yet, Wolf, of whether or not there was any sort of manifesto or any kind of message left behind, but this shooting did happen in the last few hours.
This wasn't a protest. It was a planned ambush. A man showed up in tactical gear, a rifle, ready to kill ICE officers. Let me say it again. He traveled from Michigan to launch an attack on ICE. But here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. The rhetoric made this happen. Members of Congress, influencers, city mayors, they keep calling ICE the enemy. And now people are picking up weapons to act on that lie. And this wasn't the only attack.
Texas police officer was shot in the neck outside of an ICE detention center. It happened Friday night in Alvarado, Texas, about 40 miles outside of Dallas. Authorities say Alvarado police responded to the facility in reference to a suspicious person and observed someone appearing to carry a gun. They say one of the officers tried to engage with that person, and that's when multiple suspects opened fire on the officer. The injured officer was taken to a hospital, treated, and later released, and multiple suspects were arrested in connection to the shooting.
There were two attacks, two ICE facilities in the same week. You think that's a coincidence? It's cause and effect, and it's being driven by a radicalized base that's being told by Democratic leadership that ICE is evil and must be resisted at all costs, and they're not even hiding it. Axios got their hands on Democratic talking points. You ready to hear this? Democrats told to get shot for their anti-Trump resistance. House Democrats told Axios they see a growing anger among their base that has, in some cases, morphed into a disregard for American institutions, political traditions, and even the rule of law. We've got people who are desperately wanting us to do something. No matter what we say, they want more. Final point for you all. Some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot, When visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies, a third House Democrat told Axios, "Our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public," the lawmaker said. These aren't activists anymore. They are extremists. And the people fueling it are sitting in Congress and on TV every day. Now, here's what DHS had to say.
In response to this incident, officials with the Department of Homeland Security said, quote, "Threats or acts of violence toward law enforcement officers will not be tolerated. Secretary Noem has made it clear, if you threaten or attempt to harm a law enforcement officer, we will fine you and prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law."
That's the kind of response we need. Strong, direct, and unapologetic. But where's that same energy from Karen Bass, from AOC, from Hakeem Jeffries? Oh, right. Here's what he said.
Some Democrats, amid the criticisms of ICE right now due to these ICE raids, have started calling for defunding ICE. Do you think that's effective going into the midterms, and do you support those calls?
Well, I definitely think that, we need aggressive oversight as it relates to the overly aggressive behavior that we've seen, from ICE, from the Department of Homeland Security. It's not what the American people actually, in my view, voted for. Yeah. Donald Trump and Republicans promised to go after violent felons, but instead they're going after law-abiding immigrant families. And in fact, in some cases, deporting American citizens and children, some with cancer.
Let me break that lie down real quick. The child with cancer was an American citizen, yes, but the illegal parents chose to take her with them. ICE gave them a choice, stay or go, and they chose to leave with her. ICE didn't deport her, her parents did. And the people Hakeem claims Trump targeted, they weren't law-abiding, they were criminal, illegal aliens. But Democrats blocked ICE from removing them because they wanted to protect their sanctuary cities. So when you stop ICE from doing its job and then whine when they do it somewhere else, you're the problem. But the gaslighting doesn't stop there. Let's talk about that Epstein list.
A memo obtained by Axios claims the Department of Justice and the FBI both conclude that Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, and also he did indeed take his own life. Now, the news rattling some skeptics who firmly believe the government covered up info around his death and a potential client list that could implicate some very important people.
So after years of promises, after CPAC binders, media appearances, and influencer photo ops, now they're saying there was never a list? Nope, I'm not buying it. And I'm not letting our own side off the hook either, because Pam Bondi and Cash Patel said there was a list. They said it was on her desk. They made it political. And now they're walking it back like we didn't notice.
Appearance at CPAC with Ben and with Ted Cruz. And one of the things that you alluded to, and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
You can't unsay that, and you don't get to disappear when the heat turns up. You said it was about the victims. You said you were serious. So where's the list? And for the record, this isn't just about embarrassing Trump. It's about justice. It's about trafficked girls. It's about the elite hiding behind power. But instead of transparency, we get this.
Sure. Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Nah, we're not letting this slide. This administration has thrown the book at grandmas in red hats. But they want us to believe that there's no one left to prosecute in the Epstein case. Even the judge who presided over the case ordered everything released. Even Michael Baden, the government's go-to pathologist, said Epstein didn't hang himself. This case didn't end. It got buried. The bottom line is, from ICE ambushes to Epstein lies, they want you numb. This is the pattern now. Demonetize ICE, encourage mobs, watch the violence explode, and when the smoke clears, pretend nothing happened. Then shift to Epstein, bury the names, close the case, and hope we all forgot. Well, guess what? We're not forgetting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Does anybody believe the Epstein list never existed? Should Bondi and Patel be held accountable for making promises they never intended to keep? And why is the left's new playbook protest with rifles and expect applause? Thanks for watching, people. You know what to do. You know what I need you to do. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share with someone who's still wondering where the truth went to. Again, thank you. God bless.
Listen.